G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is an Arasaka Type 99 rifle, not to be confused with the Arasaka Corporation from Cyberpunk. The Arasaka name actually derives from this weapon's designer. One Neriakira Arasaka developed this one for the Imperial Japanese Navy during the time of the Second World War, produced from 1939 all the way to the end of the war, where Japan took 2 massive L's. Serves you right for trying to take over Australia, you bastards. Anyway, so what you're looking at here is a bolt-action rifle. It's got custom animations for reloading as well as rechambering after every shot, custom sounds for shooting this thing as well as reloading, and a little bit of customization too. Not that much so. You're not going to be getting a whole lot out of this in terms of really, I guess, fidelity and perhaps a little bit of versatility, but it'll do rifling a kind of well. It's probably outdone by vanilla game weapons, but if you do enjoy a little bit of Imperial Japanese Navy stuff, then here it is. You can get a rifle. Let's see how it goes. It can't be that good. The Japanese never won a war. Let's go ahead and chuck on some receivers on this, and you'll find that you've basically got the same thing as you would with a hunting rifle, except for the it doesn't have the extra thing that'll change the chambering. It's always going to be chambered in 308, which is a close approximation of what exactly this thing fired back in the day, and honestly it's fine that it is that. I don't like it when mods have their own proprietary ammo, because that just means it's a pain in the ass to get. I load up a character, I've got 2200 308s ready to go. I think that's fine. So we've got a long barrel on this one. You can have a lightened barrel for a little bit better VATS usage, or a ported one, which has a description here, but I'm guessing that's all in Japanese characters because that's just all showing up as squares for me, and I don't speak square, so we'll move on from that. A marksman stock, generally they just tend to steady your scope when you are looking down a scope, so I suppose that'll be pretty helpful there. And right now we've got a 5-round super clip, and you'll reload it a little bit like an M1 Garand, but it doesn't have that satisfying ping noise when you expel all the magazines, so that kind of sucks. We'll go for a quick one there. That'll help us reload a little bit faster. And you can have glow sights on this, which seem to throw the front post a little bit too far forward, so something must be done to fix that a little bit there. And for the life of me, I can't really see any glowingness there, so we'll just keep the standard sights on so it looks like it's all in one piece, don't you think? And you can have a bayonet on this. You can't chuck a suppressor on it. A bayonet will help you in terms of close quarters combat, and that's kind of what you need with this thing. It will cost you a little bit of range, but we can't get that much of a zoom in anyway for sniping, so we'll just go for an Arasaka bayonet there, and we'll move on. Plus, it's a bolt action, so you can hit with a bayonet, then shoot without having to crank the bolt, which I think is funny. It happens with the vanilla game hunting rifle, so you can basically do the same thing as you could there. This is a standard something, but you can polish the bolt, I guess, and make all of the trigger assembly gold if you want. And that's like a whole secondary skin, and it'll actually happen along here as well. If I end up changing this thing fully, you'll see that it's got this sort of weird paint job. It also says Wakamo on the side. I'm not actually sure what that means. Is that like a thing in Japan? Not really sure what's going on there. And you can even change the sights to look like that. They'll be gold plated as well. And the barrel, which makes it look like some sort of thing you'd find in a kid's lunchbox. Is that like a fruit bar or something? I don't know. If you don't like the look of that, you can take all of those off, but that's just a little bit of aesthetics thing. It's kind of interesting that you get the option of changing each and every bit slightly like that. So if you really wanted to polish bolt and trigger assembly, you can do that and leave everything as standard. But the only thing you can do to change the zoom in here is you've got this. It's a little slider. You can't attach a scope onto this thing, so if you wanted to snipe at this thing's maximum range, you'll get a 2.5 times zoom in there. It'll just zoom in with the iron sights. A little bit like Battlefield 1943, to be honest. And you can have a damage slider on this thing if it isn't quite doing it for you. I think that's pretty needed on a weapon like this. We've got 5 rounds in a magazine. It's bolt action, so we're barely scraping what we can do. We can't suppress it, so we can't use it for sneaking and stealthy. So I think we're going to struggle. A legendary effect is there if you need it, but this will be our Type 99 Arasaka for now. Let's go shoot stuff. Okay, let's quickly talk about where to find this thing, because it's not obvious. They don't tell you explicitly, but I've found it. Now, what they want you to do on the Nexus page is watch the video. They'll give you a hint. And it's kind of obvious, but not really. So what I did instead is, instead of watching the video, and that video was like a fun trip in all of itself, because the first thing you see there is it says, in many different languages, I think Japanese, maybe Korean is included, it says, this weapon is not meant to glorify Japanese imperialism. It's like, great, I'm not doing that either. So we're on the same page there at least. Secondly, the second thing I see is those weird anime head mods. It's like, nah, I'm not watching this. So what I did instead was I just opened up the creation kit and then found the Arasaka rifle, use info, found out that it's in the Nakano residence. This is where you want to go, right here. And sorry I had to drag that out, but I went on the adventure. And you've got to go into Kasumi's room. You'll find it here. You've got this sort of open roof thing, and then there's some posters and shit on the wall. You'll find this little magazine here, and I found out what Wakamo is. It's a fucking anime. Get the fuck off my screen. And you'll find the Arasaka rifle in here. So apparently Kasumi was packing heat here, and I guess she didn't take that with her, so she didn't go to the, what is it called? What's the synth place called again? Arcadia? Somewhere. She didn't go there to kill all the synths, so that's not good. So, bad, Kasumi, bad. If you're wondering what exactly that magazine did, the mod says that it gives you the ability to paint the thing already, but I've already had the options. There doesn't seem to be anything new here. Also, notice how, or just painting the magazine now, you sort of got to build it up. You got these 4 attachment slots, but you always start with the standard bolt polish and trigger assembly polish, so that's kind of weird. We're going to leave this as is, and we're going to try to not get killed, but it's probably going to happen. Okay, so outside of Gunner's Plaza, and this is the Arasaka rifle in first person. Note the massive zoom in here. That is the maximum amount of zoom you could possibly get, which seems to be actually pretty generously good. You've got this tiny little bit of iron sight to use for reference of where you're actually aiming, so that's actually not too bad. There's the rechambering animation, there's the reload animation, blink and you'll miss that. And if you are familiar with the Mauser mods, you'll find that the animations are quite the same, yes. No, I just shot and killed a mosquito, so I guess we're off to a flyer here. Now, this is probably one of those World War II weapons that hasn't really aged well. The only weapon from World War IIs that really sort of seemed to hold up in the Fallout 4 world space would be the MG42s and some of the automatic SMGs. Just the volume of fire you can get. Because you think about rifles these days, they're all bloody automatic. No one needs to, I mean, people do carry a machine gun. How am I not hitting that guy? There we go. Maybe we need to dial the sights in, but I think the best way we could probably do this is to, you wanna reload now, or, there you go. Yes, the best way to do this is probably just to spam the hell out of VATS, and hopefully the crits can carry us. That's a huge whiff there, that's an 82%. We're playing XCOM again, baby. That was a double hit though, that was interesting. Seemed to get 2 damage numbers for the price of 1 bullet there. And right now, the gunners are advancing on my position. I am being shot to absolute shit right now. So, I think it might be time for a tactical retreat. That gunner is shooting me with a 9mm pistol. So, I don't know exactly what you're looking at. Still can't do it. Raine, reload. Well, I don't need to show you the reload animation in third person now, because that was a pretty explicit thing. Although, looks like both of us are charging each other with the bolt-action rifles these days, and there was the good old-fashioned bayonet charging of the bolt, and that's about it for me. I don't think I'm going to get much further than that, so maybe just to cover my retreat, I'm going to go over here, and then we're going to get the hell out of Dodge. Maybe we'll fight some of these raccoons instead. This seems to be a little bit more weapon speed, and we're in caution already. Special stealth training. That's a turkey. I'll smash that turkey. Come here. Oh, that's a putrid bloatfly. That's a problem because he's gonna one-shot me. So perhaps we want to run away a little bit further now. I'm actually a little bit more worried about that bloatfly. Alright, so looks like we can't cut it with one rifle, but what if we have 16 rifles? What if we just do this a little bit more army-like, and don't you bloody dare come near me. Get out of here. Take that. Yes, the critical will get you going. Alright, I'll be right back. Don't worry. I got a plan. Okay, so we're back in the immersive Gunners Plaza, but this time we've brought friends. Everyone here is armed with the Arasaka rifles, and what that'll mean is that we can slap them, and look out for the grenades, they'll get ya. In fact, one of us is dead already. I'll just quickly pick you up. I can push her when she's on the ground. That's interesting. Anyways, we'll try to get some shots on these guys, and there we go. There's a hit. We'll try to get the ones. Actually, that one's close. We might be able to do a bayonet charge here. And listen to the bolts cranking. It's louder than the firing of the weapons themselves, and we are getting headshots for days. Headshots like they're going out of bloody style here. And apparently that gunner decided to try to roundhouse kick Quasar there, who technically is cheating a little bit because he hasn't equipped Arasaka rifle, but that's just how we go. Lily in front of you. Careful now. She's done the stim pack. Never mind, she goes down. Lily, come on. Can't be doing that. There we go, that's good for morale. Pick her back up, she's ready to go right again. And apparently she's got no interest in the guy that was shooting her with a machine gun, and everyone's sort of just walking in all casual like. That's weird. Everyone's so casual about this. It's like a normal day. We're not worried about using bolt actions here, I suppose. And you can see that my damage is greatly lowered because normally I'd have an extra 25% thanks to Lone Wanderer at rank 3, but even at this range, I'm suffering for such bad damage. Although I managed to crack 100 with a step forward, so maybe I'm on the very edge of this thing's range, which for a rifle with this much zoom in is not going to do you very good. Also, it's very sparkly. The specular maps, I think, are a little bit intense in situations where they wouldn't normally be. Let me just,
hey,
let's get Tammy to take these guys out. Carla.
Head over there. That guy.
Now, will Carla hit him from there? Well, he's being lit up. I'll just add some suppressing fire, I guess, because I can't hit him. But the rest of his companions, they're doing really well. We're out in full force. I don't usually do this, but I feel like necessity calls it today. Let's do a little bit of VATS here, just to see exactly how much damage I'd be getting with a headshot. Just shy of 300 here. I wouldn't mind getting the crits back, to be honest, and that's a reload because I didn't crank the bolt back. Really struggling for damage here. If I didn't have so many guns and extra units on my side, I'd be struggling, and you saw exactly that when I first started, even with the damage as it is. We'll poke that guy in the back, get 400 damage, actually, that's pretty good. Maybe we'll get it again. Not quite. There we go. Looks like the old bayonet trick works pretty well with this thing. It's probably the way to go. Also, I've got so many followers that they're completely filling up the bar there. And, well, that's some Tesla. I reckon Lily's thrown a Tesla turret up there and it's sort of just completely munted him, because she throws him in pretty good spots, like for the AI. She's tossed it up there. Kinda won't be able to deal with that. I think you'll struggle to hit it with its general hitbox. Is that Little Miss Creation Club? Nope, that's someone with a big old MG. I think they're gonna win this DPS war. They certainly are, so I'm going to VATS and we'll just get this finished nice and quickly. Yep, that's definitely an MG. Let's go for a crit headshot here just to finish this off. And we'll be seeing you later. that technically is Nerd Rage at the moment, and I think I've got someone right near me, so we'll activate Nerd Rage and see what we can do. I don't know if that was a headshot or not. That was a headshot at Nerd Rage for only a little bit of damage. There we go. So, even with all the followers, almost died in the end, although I probably could have handled that situation with that gunner just a little bit better, to be honest, just a little bit. But looks like the only ones left are in this room, and I've got reinforcements up here. They've run up the same way I have. Also, the combat stance with this thing appears to be pointing it down. What's going on inside here? Did you already infiltrate this without me even knowing? What's... Excuse me? Did someone actually just get in here? What? How'd you get in there? Is that possible? I'll help you out anyway, but we'll quickly dash you to death before you kill me. Alright. Good job all around, everyone. Not over yet. There's a monster down the road, and I think I'll be needing all of your help to kill him, but yep. For some reason, we've got a little bit more firepower than expected with our followers going on. Like, some of them are getting crazy amounts of damage. That's probably my fault for balancing them so poorly. But, you know, it was good to get the gunners a taste of old Japanese Imperial... Well, I guess it doesn't really matter now. Everything got nuked, so everyone got the Japan treatment, didn't they? Very sad event. Let's shoot something big and forget about how horrible real life is. Alright, let's get this job over with. We'll try to take that guy out in one shot. We'll shoot him in his mini nuke arm. That'll trigger the bomb. And we'll start shooting at big old Swan. We'll do 33 damage to you in the head from here. We are struggling for damage, that's for sure. But look at this firing squad. See, imagine having all that firepower just with one weapon. That's the state of automatic rifles these days. Think of like a Scar H and being able to shoot 20 bullets of 308 sized ammo. And that's just one person. Everyone take out that blood bug. Sorry, I knocked you down. Boom bug, sorry. They cover you in blood if you kill them. Hang on, there's another one. Get him. And everyone gets knocked down. We all fall down. Alright, now it's on. I don't know how exactly we'll go. Looks like they can tank a few hits. I would expect them to be able to tank just about as much as I would, so a good 3 hits would be decent enough. Take them. I think Vicky's copping it at the moment. Yeah, he's having a bit of trouble finding the proper target. He didn't really capitalize on that. And I think we got an idiot savant proc because you don't usually get 8500 XP for killing that guy. And 1 health bar remains. It belongs to Winter, but I think she's fine. I think they're just going to scroll up like we're watching some sort of credits, but we're okay now. So everybody... calm down. Maybe we'll go for one more monster. How's that sound? Yep, pretty good. Let's go. Alright, we're going to lure that giant Wendigo ghoul over to us. Hit him for 216 with that damage, with the sneak attack, but everyone else is smashing him pretty well, and we can even knock him down there by shooting those little boom bugs. Lily's thrown down a Tesla turret there, so that's probably his next target, right? Yep, if he can hit it. There he goes. He did 1300 damage to it, the bastard. Now he's going for the robot. Bad idea. You know, you're not going to hit that one. Alright, I think that's about it for the Arasaka rifle. And I know this is not what I'd usually do normally, but I don't think this weapon was really strong enough to be used in any sort of circumstances. So instead of watching me struggle for 15 to 20 minutes to take out Gunner's Plaza, why not add a little bit of fun by just getting a firing squad in on this? And I think that was good. As to whether I could recommend this mod, not really. I mean, it's okay, but I think there needs to be a few more customization options for it to become its own thing. Maybe if you could turn it into a sniper with a scope attachment, maybe a few muzzle attachments might be pretty cool. But really, I'm not digging this thing, to be honest. I don't find it's that damage to be quite good enough. And maybe you could make the argument that this thing is designed for a early game weapon and pushing it a little bit too hard. But look, I've already got the hunting rifle in the vanilla game for an early game rifle option, so it's already a niche that's sort of covered by an early game weapon, and I don't think this thing can do anything that the hunting rifle couldn't do better, other than having, you know, the bolt on the right side, but, you know, you can get mods to fix that anyway. But it's interesting. I think there could be some work done to it to improve it, but if you are interested in having this rifle in your game, check out the description. I'll sure leave a link down there. Perhaps if I offer a word of advice to the mod author, if they're listening out there, if they can even understand me, maybe you could add a little bit more to it. But if this is your vision and this is how you want to keep it, then I can respect that, I suppose. But in its current state, there are a lot of other weapons that I think are slightly better. The Mauser weapons seem to be a little bit better. The SMLEs, the British rifles used, I think are slightly better. But we had fun. That's all you can really ask for. And I think it's not a bad looking weapon in the end, is it? So, you know, have some fun. If you don't find it that good, then just move on to something else. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Oh, and another thing I didn't mention is it completely balks the save names that you get. It just turns them into incomprehensible gibberish. Probably not a problem if you've got the game set to Japanese, though, I'm guessing.